Hey guys, Joe here, the Madden Sports Podcast, joined this afternoon by Stephen Nover, former sports writer and longtime handicapper. Excited to have you on the show, Stephen. How's the day treating you?
Oh, it's been one of those days, Joe, but it is a great honor to be on your show. Congratulations on just lining up so many excellent guests that you've been doing.
Oh, it's been absolutely phenomenal. So excited to have you here, Stephen. Hear your journey into this industry because it's not one a lot of people aspire as children to go into. But how did you start in this industry as a sports writer?
Well, it's been kind of a long roundabout journey. I always was a sports writer. I had spent first 20 years of my professional life working for various newspapers as a sports writer around the country and in the Midwest and the South. And then the last newspaper job I accepted was a sports writer for the Las Vegas Review-Journal. This was back in 1984. And so I started with the RJ. And then shortly after being there, an opening occurred for the sports gaming writer. And so they assigned me to do that beat. And that's kind of how I got into this sports betting field, Joe. It's I would be doing sports betting articles, writing a weekly column, and I got to know all the bookmakers, the bettors. I even worked part-time for Roxy Roxborough, who was the top odds maker at the time. And so I kind of absorbed all this and learned all these things. And then when I left the newspaper in 97 to go work for websites, again, as a writer, as a sports gaming writer. And then from there, I kind of also started doing some duo handicapping, serious handicapping. And then when writing, all payment for writing dried up, who pays for writers nowadays? Everybody does it for free. So I'm a professional. I'm not going to do it for free. So I just became a full-time handicapper. And so I've really been seriously handicapping, I'd say, for about the last 17 years.
That's fantastic. What's your favorite part of handicapping sports, Stephen?
I enjoy it, Joe, because it's challenging. Every day is challenging. Obviously, you have a new board, and I kind of feel like I'm playing the part of Sherlock Holmes, trying to solve a mystery. With just figuring out just who's going to cover and who's not, and what are the best plays, where's the best value, and it's a real challenge I enjoy.
Now, where did the love and passion for sports originally come from, Stephen? Did you play sports growing up, or were you just always actively involved in watching them?
Oh, no. I did both. I grew up in Wisconsin. I'm really dating myself, but I grew up in Wisconsin in the 60s, so I was right there during the Lombardi era. So, of course,
wow.
You got to be a huge Packer fan. And, I played sports, and, it was great. I enjoyed it, but now I'm paying the price. My back kills me. All my fingers are broken. My nose has been broken 5 times. And but it was worth it. I enjoyed playing, and I've always been into sports my entire life. And
did you play football then, or what were you playing that you broke all your fingers?
Well, all the sports, mainly football, because I was an arm tackler, and I should have been leading with my helmet and things. And at the time I didn't care. Now I care more when I start really hurting. But it was all worth it. The same with baseball cards. When I was little, I collected baseball cards, and I had the Mickey Mantles and all the ones that fetch for a lot of money today. But I played with them, so they're all ruined. But I don't regret that. I enjoyed it.
Absolutely. So you cover all American sports, correct?
I do, yes. Except I don't really cover. I shouldn't say all. I don't do MMA. I don't do golf. I don't do tennis. I don't. The more mainstream major ones that people like to bet on, I should say.
So what is your favorite to handicap then, or do you have a favorite, Stephen?
It's always been NFL because and again, this is maybe unconventional too, is that I back into my handicapping through fantasy sports. I've always long been into the fantasy football and the fantasy baseball. So I really take a lot of pride in that and trying to win my leagues. And these are deep leagues. I like to think they're skillful leagues. So I really study hard the players And from there, I've got a basis. I know the players, I know the backups. Then it's incorporating situations, history. You kind of develop your own feel and eye tests and nose tests after doing this for so many years. And I was lucky enough, Joe, that along my way that I was able to make so many contacts, both from my sports writing days and also from my sports betting writing days. And I had a lot of mentors that I really learned from that really taught me a lot about sports handicapping.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear, Stephen. Definitely giving you a wealth of information in behind you. Now we have game 6 of the NBA Finals tomorrow. This is going to be a spectacular game. Do you have any early predictions for us?
Oh, Joe, I try to, I was having the NBA playoffs of my life. I was 17-6 going into this last game 5. Yeah, I know I haven't had a role like that in the NBA playoffs like forever. And I thought about the game and I decided to go with the Celtics. It was that a lot of zig and zag had been holding up. And I figured if these teams were exactly even, in my opinion, if they both were playing at the same level, Boston was the better team. Curry was not going to have a game for the ages like he did in game 4. And so I decided to take the 4 points and go with Boston. And as we know, the setup worked for them. Curry did not have a great game. They got more foul shots. Everything was in their favor, but they didn't cover. They were the wrong side. And so that's kind of shattered my confidence a little bit. And I've got to really so I'm going to be doing research right up to the last second, and before I come out with a play in game 6.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting game 6 with Boston at home, 4-point favorites in this one. We got a total that's dropped from 210.5 down to 210. So be interesting to see where this one falls. I kind of am leaning on the Warriors closing it out. Do I want it to happen? Probably not. I would love to see this one go 7. I just am not ready for basketball to be finished for the season, Stephen.
Well, Joe, it's a great championship series, but that game 5 was a real letdown. The Celtics really didn't hold up their end. They were flat. I don't know if they were out of gas. Golden State's championship series pedigree showed up. They knew how to win, so those are, at this stage, I kind of lean Boston, but, that does worry me. And that worried me going into this series, that Golden State just has that kind of experience edge where these teams in the NBA, it's more a stage type thing. You don't just go from point F winning the championship. You kind of get to the semis and the finals. You kind of pay your dues. And maybe Boston isn't quite ready there yet.
Well, and then we also have to look at what a terrible shooting night Steph Curry had from the threes in the last game. The team did step up behind him, rallied behind him. We saw him in game 4 have a phenomenal night on the floor. So what kind of game is Steph Curry going to have? And can the team support him if he has a bad game again? It'll be interesting.
Well, yeah, you got to figure that really boosted the other players' confidence, knowing that they beat Boston with Curry having an off shooting night. What was he, 0 for 9 from 3-point? I mean,
he was.
You could have made a lot of money, fading that. Who would have thought? My guess, Joe, is probably he plays a lot better than he did in the last game, but not quite up to that godlike status how he played in game 4. Probably in the middle there, I would guess.
Stephen, was there any games that you were looking at for today, either on the baseball diamonds or in NHL?
I'm involved with this game 1 with the Lightning and the Avalanche. Great series. Again, the Lightning, similar maybe to Golden State. These guys are the 2-time champs. Perhaps the Avalanche is the more talented team, but they don't have that championship pedigree that Tampa Bay brings. Tampa Bay, huge edge in goal. And this is kind of a tricky one with Colorado rested, but perhaps too rested. 9 days off. That's a long time to be off. And I'm involved on the ball diamond too. I've got a couple of premium plays, and I put out a free play today on the over in the Padres Cubs game. Winds blowing out 17-20.
That ball's gonna go flying.
Yeah, you got a couple young pitchers, inexperienced. You throw them into into those conditions, I don't think it looks good for an under in that game.
Not at all. So, Stephen, if people are looking to find you on social media or to get your picks, where can they find you and your picks?
Well, I'm on a number of websites, pregame.com, Vegas Insider, Picks and Parlays, Sports Capping, Vegas Winners. People can buy from me direct. I'm at Stephen Nover 1 on Twitter. They can message me and, happy to talk with them.
That is fantastic. Well, Stephen, thank you so much for joining me today on the Joe Madden Sports Podcast. Can't wait to have you on again. Thank you for sharing your story and your information today.
Well, thank you, Joe. I really appreciate the invite. I consider it quite an honor to be on your podcast. Thank you.
Oh, the honor is all mine, Stephen. Thank you again. Have a wonderful night and all the best in all of your bets.
Thank you. You too, Joe. Take care.
Thank you.